Captain order! How do you feel? Why wouldn't they? Nobody likes to see ignorance in the world, do they? Now, are you willing to let yourself understand, my dear? What has happened, what is happening here is no disaster. It's the salvation of us all. A happy accident wrought by the meddling of those foolish scientists. That much must be clear, surely. There's power in the ground we tread, in the breathing earth herself. And it wants to bring all humanity together with the soil. Imagine such a thing. Listen, separateness, you and I, life and death. It is all an illusion. Hard to let go of, my dear, but an illusion all the same. Why not give it up and live in eternal bliss? Look around yourself, dear. Folks steal, they oppress, they kill. It is for the betterment of themselves that they made their heathen technology and severed our bonds with the land. That is why we must give it all up as sacrifice. Their machines, their minds, all that they ever were, all to repair those bonds. The earth gave us life and the strength which lives in us. It is our joyful duty to return it all to the soil. The land needs must breathe, and so we breathe our Mayflower lives back into it. That is our purpose. Join us. The earth welcomes those who go willingly. It is the only true path out there. Are you ready to see where it leads? It's difficult for anyone, but give it time. The truth appears as a beautiful garden as the fog of ignorance fades away. Look, if you do one more thing, it may become clearer for you. There's a divine thing under that atom plant. Something the scientists found buried in the soil. They called it Oberon. Ah, the military and their fondness for code names. But it is so much more. And it needs to be fed. We can help it grow and heal the damage that science has done. The boffins had a hiding place for their work. Perhaps you are familiar with it already. They called it the Interchange. It's been dozing there for 5 years. The voice speaks of it often. Reawaken the Interchange, and you will open the way to Oberon. My dear, how I'd love to know what form it takes. But the soil sings of it, and we'd be fools not to listen. Listen, Windscale awaits you. But first, there is something we need. A scientist came to me soon after the disaster, trapped here and still alive, but he was done for, fading slowly, poor mite. He told me of a secret, that in their laboratories they'd found some stuff, a serum, he called it, that could make the new growth spread like fire. That serum is what we're after. And now you are here to find it for us. Well, that's the joke, isn't it? Scientists made it themselves. You had any of the learning juice they have in the Warrens? That's the very stuff. Only this scientist, he said there was a more powerful mixture of it. Maybe that's what's needed to awaken Oberon. Think of it. Awakening a god who will unite us all. No more wars. No more atom bombs. Not even a crossword. Wonderful. Truly wonderful. I knew you had pluck. The scientist worked in the medical laboratory. Something like an underground hospital, the way he described it. He told me that there were tunnels beneath it, where they loaded goods onto their trains. That's where the serum was stashed. Find the serum, and the way forward will become clear for you.
We don't know yet. Death to... You're fine, keep going.
Be on the lookout for this dangerous malefactor. Be vigilant.
roster. I can't stand this miserable shithole of a village much longer.
It seems that the protocol soldiers are in a right flap about the interchange. They were chatting about how the whole place lit up like a Christmas tree, which I'm assuming was your doing. You've done more to unlock the secrets of this place than anyone I can remember. But believe me, you still need my help if you want to get out of here. You and I. We can bring an end to the madness that's claimed this place. Even escape to the world outside, can you imagine? Time is of the essence. With any luck, Sample 1 will still be hidden away in the medical facility. You can see why I must keep myself hidden away down here. Yes, it's under control, but I'll never be entirely free of it. Thanks to this apparatus, I found a way to inoculate myself, halting the infection before it could fully establish itself. If my colleagues had shown more faith in my line of experimentations, well, we wouldn't be where and what we are now. Time is of the essence. With any luck, Sample 1 will still be hidden away in the medical facility.
Ah, it's you. The shopkeeper. Good heavens above. I knew something was off about him, but nothing as foul as that. Then I must ask something of you. You're embroiled in this now, as much as we are. To find absolution, well, you must find some way to deal with Morris. An ally to those heathens in the woods is a danger to the village. Not that I'm suggesting you. Well, I'll leave it to your judgment. How did you... You're very well informed, I must say. Very well. This key will open a box upstairs. You'll find your payment in there. And in the spirit of reciprocation, if you are in need of my help, you need only ask. I am here if you wish to talk, to unburden your soul. And if you'll forgive me for saying so, you seem troubled. Might I ask why? I don't suppose, well, have you perhaps been hearing voices? It is a sign of vile corruption. It cannot be tolerated. It must be confronted. I saw it in the baker's husband. The baker, Iris, told me he was hearing voices and had fallen terribly ill. I haven't seen her husband for a number of weeks now. So I trust she came to her senses and took the necessary action. But it pains me to imagine what evil is creeping inside our little village. I only wish she had come to me sooner. My prayers might have reached him in the early stages of his fall from grace. But he is beyond that now. I must think of the rest of the village. We have seen some very bad times here. I don't really know why such misfortune has befallen us. Only that it started with that wretched science city they built across the mere. They did something. Heaven knows what. And now it is laced with evil. You can smell it in the air. I do what I can, what I must. The people here need a guiding hand, not an oppressive one. The military presence, this protocol nonsense of theirs, has done that to us, and with no sign of respite. Pressure like that breeds corruption. I must obey the Lord's will and fight against such things. You, on the other hand, seem of a curious nature. I can offer you something, but you must be cautious about prying too deeply. Well, I was on cordial terms with one or two of the scientists stationed up here. The important ones lodged at a manor house out in Casterfell Woods. I doubt any are still alive. But they may have left notes or papers that could prove useful to you. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. Farewell, and God bless you.
This is a defense announcement. The substation is now... Off limits to all citizens and enlisted men. Speak to a protocol officer if you require access for a legitimate reason.
A new customer. How'd you do? Welcome to Wyndham Village. Pardon my curiosity, but how is it the soldiers let you in? Did you bribe them? And if you did, what with? Aye, well, I can hazard a guess. Our little Napoleon, the captain that is, he keeps an eye out for folk like you. A stranger might be important. And if you're important, then that's another stepping stone out of the zone, isn't it? Anyway, where are me manners, eh? I'm Maurice Wick, owner of this establishment. Take a look at what I have to offer if you fancy. Thank you for your business. Get new stock in now and then, so come back any time. I might have something new for you. Shh! Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. All right, look. Just hear me out, eh? See, we're a rotten one, that'n. Tattling folk out to the vicar so he can load it over us. She never had out on me, not till last night when she found that letter. Then she carried on like I'd thrown in me lot were old Hitler or summat. Called me a traitor, like I ever had any loyalty to the protocol lot. I'm no killer, not born to it, but she were poison, that'n, and so is vicar. Summat had to be done. Him? My socks are holier than he is. We give our donations to the church, and in return he keeps the protocol sweet, or so he says. Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is, pure and simple. Oh, aye. Or chuck you in that jail of theirs, which is just as much a death sentence, except slower. All I'm saying is that we messed up, with factories and machines and that. We should have stayed close to the soil. Simple as that. How is that treason? I'm not wicked, you know. I just have a purpose in life, that's all. Something better. But that Maisie, She were going to shout it from rooftops if I didn't pay to keep her and that vicar quiet. She had to go, and I had to do it somewhere vicar couldn't just sweep it under the rug. He can't go running off to the captain when it looks like he might have blood on his hands. Please, I know what I'm asking, but let it go, will you? Give us that letter back and we can both forget all about it. I'll make it worth your while, I promise. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, eh? Fair enough. Here, you take this as a thank you, I suppose. I'm happy, you're happy, and the village doesn't have to worry about that quizzling Maisie anymore. And look, if you want to know more about her, you know, the purpose, well, there's... someone I'd love you to meet. Mother Jago. Lives out by the old mine in Casterfell Woods. I'll mark the spot for you. Reckon you'll find what she has to say very interesting indeed. Beliefs? They're the truth. Can't you see what's going on here? The protocol soldiers, the church, all carrying on like they know all the answers, when the truth is they know nought. Everyone says the folk in the woods are cracked, but they look like the only sane ones around here to me. They're trying to make peace with the world, not ruin it. Them scientists, the disaster, that weren't natural, they knows. Upset the balance of things. Nature's proper furious with us. We should make amends, shouldn't we? It's only right. But them soldiers would have me locked up for thinking that. Dangerous pagan sentiments, that arse of a captain calls it. Oh, you'd have to ask him that yourself. I'll leave that pleasure to you. Me, I'm happy here in the shop, where I never have to look at the man. Big explosion, that's what. I remember it woke the whole village. We were out in the streets, wondering what were what. I mean, with all them atoms and such like they have over there. The soldiers rolled in and told us we were fine, that there weren't no radioactivity to be frit of. But then, in the next breath, they said we couldn't leave. Temporary quarantine protocol, they called it. Temporary, my hat. Look at them walls. Nowt temporary about them, is there? We had no choice but to take it on the chin. So we did. Well, most of us did anyhow. In the months after the disaster, some people started to turn a bit odd. Nothing bad, just different, you know. Kept going on about the soil calling to them. People you'd known your whole life, proper sober folk, suddenly talking about a new purpose. Then one night, they all upped and marched off into woods. Soldiers have been properly down about any talk, since that might sound a bit, you know, pagan. I shouldn't be talking about it neither.
Attention! There has been a theft from the village hall. Do you have any information about this crime?
Watch yourself, Civvy.
If so, report it immediately to the protocol officer. Remember, colluding with criminals is a serious offense.
Well, well, a new face. Good day. You'll forgive me if I'm less than cordial on first acquaintances, I'm sure. New faces often mean trouble. And yet, they may bring new opportunities, too. Tell me, where have you come from? Really? Well, you're not the first amnesiac I've seen since things went awry. Trauma does strange things to people. In case it wasn't made clear to you on the way in, Wyndham is under the protection of the protocol. You are permitted to move freely through the village, for now at least. Consider it a gesture of goodwill. I hope it'll be reciprocated. But don't go causing any trouble here. Is that clear? And if trouble finds you, make sure you report it. Post haste. Now, there are certain things I like to discuss with new faces such as you. I would hope a stranger like you can provide me with some information. This isn't Scarborough, with holidaymakers just swanning about the place. No, being a visitor here puts you in a very unique position. I want to know where you came from. I want to know what you can tell me about the outside. Let me worry about what to do with it. Trust me, you will be much better off aiding protocol than crossing us. Be under no illusions. We must eradicate the corruption that festers here before there is any hope of leaving this blasted place. If we were to work together, you and I, perhaps we might make some progress towards such an outcome. But step out of line, and I will revoke your liberties here just as quickly as they were given. So I ask again, did you come from the outside? What do you know? Well, this is disappointing. I was hoping you'd have something you were willing to share. We imprison strangers at the first whiff of trouble, but you can keep your liberties for now. I trust that will be more conducive to a timely recollection of your origins. In the meantime, be wary of this place. Do not be tempted to engage with any of the pagan sentiments some of the locals may try to foist on you. Such beliefs are dangerous and forbidden. Do I make myself clear? And if you still wish to have protocol's aid, you'll just have to make yourself useful to me in other ways. The civilians in this village are a shady lot. Resistant to discipline and up to no good. I'm sure of it. We can hardly get the time of day out of them. But you're an outsider. They may not trust you exactly, but nor are they immediately suspicious of you. Sniff around. Keep your ears open. If you find anything I should know, come to me with it. If you want somewhere to start, well, we've had our eyes on Iris, the baker. I could send a patrol in, of course, but a softer approach might prove more efficacious. Oh, and another thing. I've just had a runner tell me of some commotion at the prison. Our radio's currently out of commission, so I don't have the full gen yet. But if you encounter a scientist, Dr. Garrow, you should beware. I take no pleasure in ordering the death of a woman, but she's a threat to everyone in the zone. If you see her, I strongly advise you to kill her instantly. No talk, no moments of mercy. Fire and be done. Yes, what is it? Infected? You mean to say contaminated by that vile blue muck? And she would keep him hidden and endanger the whole village? Good Lord. A grisly situation. Thank you